12, 12, 12 cases of children that need help is a lot for one person. And how many people quit? 30, because they cannot deal with, it's traumatizing, it's dramatic, it's heartbreaking to see children and families in distress. You have to deal with all the trauma and drama from their families. Then you have to deal with judges and lawyers, and they need help. And unless they get help, they cannot help the helpless. So that's my rant.
Okay, everybody subscribe to What's Up Dog. Okay, so that's the name of her channel. Anyways, I want to talk about Luna Girl's comment here. Dawn and Candace have the most motive, in my opinion. With school starting and CPS on them, it was only a matter of time before SA would be discovered. Dawn would go to prison as an you I think she was so okay. One of the things about this, and that's a really great comment, is I found out that CPS does phone people before they're going to go and do a home check. Okay, so they don't just show up. Apparently, they notify people that they're coming over. So people are saying that Dawn and Candace were notified that the CPS was coming over. So, and other people are saying no, they would never know if the CPS were coming over. Okay, so the CPS were supposed to come over that day on June 15th. Okay, that's when the CPS were supposed to come over. She goes missing. And, or it was that day or the next day. Anyways, Don was going to be hiding out at his workplace. He had a fridge there and a hot plate there, apparently. And he was going to stay because he was going to avoid the CPS because he's not supposed to be there. Probably because of welfare fraud. But that's a really, really great point. I think that they could have been trying to avoid the Child Protective Services. It's all so coincidental that the Child Protective Services were going to come over, and then she goes missing. It's really, really convenient. So also when I was looking into this Harmony case, they were saying that a lot of complaints hadn't been coming into the Child Protective Services in New Hampshire. They had a drop in it because of the COVID, because kids were not in school. So they got less complaints. And the reason why is because the teachers notice things, and then they call the child services. Okay, so now Summer is going to end up going into school, and these people who are like child abusers, they don't like teachers because they know that it's the teachers that are gonna give them up to, they're gonna call them on whatever they're doing. So they didn't want her to go to school, possibly. No, there's another one that could have been another reason there. So they could have taken her away, or they sold her before she gets to school. I don't know what's going to happen, but when the teachers see her face and her teeth, and then see her hair or things like that, they would have lost her. Like, they would have had her taken away, and rightly so. Is there anything else you want to talk about? Any other comments?
No, I don't have any other. No, you're always doing a fantastic job. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your commentary. And I like how you call it. I like how you call it out. I like how you just stick right to your opinion and you give and deliver excellent content. You're doing great.
Okay, everybody go to What's Up Dog and subscribe there. You just got one more subscriber. You're up to 54.
Yay, thank you, sir.
You're gonna have 100. You're gonna have 100,000 eventually.
I hope so.
You just got to keep working at it. It just gets bigger and bigger. Trust me.
I'm live now while I'm on with you. So, yep. So I'll be back.
You're live right now?
Yeah, I went live. I had done at 9 o'clock.
Everybody.
Yep. So I just put it on so they can listen to you because I talk about your channel. But I'm gonna do some dog stuff on what happened when they went up there and were bringing the dog food and feeding the treats. So just because I worry about the dogs, which their hearts were in the right place, so nobody go after them for I realize it was content, but if you had watched, if you watch that thing when he goes up there, it looks like that little pack of dogs is the Yucky pack. That looks like the Yucky puppy. So and they were giving him treats, and the dogs were so cute because these dogs aren't getting cookies all the time. And I just thought it was funny because I live in the country. So don't come at me for being, I'm right next to Ocala, the horse capital of the world, but I'm also from the North and New York. So I totally got Molly's trying to give cookies and Betty are trying to give cookies. These dogs are ranch dogs. They're farm dogs. They live on a mountain. They're like, well, this is great. And then they were bringing them out into the road, which I was just like, oh God, be careful of the dogs. Dear Lord. Watch the dogs. So, but I believe that was the Yucky puppy crew that was so friendly and came down and greeted them because they were friendly. Some of them were hiding in the woods, but that little pack, I'm pretty sure, was the Yucky pack.
You got another 2 subscribers. You're up to 56.
It's awesome. All right. I'll let you go back to your stream.
Okay. Thanks for dropping by. Come back again.
Will do. See you later. Bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Hey guys, it's Claudia from What's Up Dog, and I am streaming on StreamYard tonight on 2 platforms. On my personal page, which is going to start to be Sunday with Claudia, and then YouTube, strictly YouTube. And this is What's Up Dog, where we talk all things dog. And we have been discussing the Summerwells case. And Summerwells is a 5-year-old. If you don't know the story, Summerwells is a 5-year-old little girl who went missing in Hawkins, Tennessee on June 15th and has become the awareness, Handstopaws has made her the official awareness team pack member because little Miss Summerwells is saving lives. I don't know how to do. Getting a little better at YouTube, just a little bit, as I have some content for you tonight. And I want to discuss some things that are going on and give you a little bit of an update. There we go. And I want to discuss some things that are going on. Okay. I'm going to take that off. Beautiful. So let's go right into content and discuss. Let me get this on the other thing too. So in case hold on, please. Hey, Jessica, I'm live. Can I call you back? Oops. It's a lot of interruptions tonight, guys. I'm so sorry. Okay, it ended. All right. Hey, guys. Sorry about that. So I do have the link. If you do want to come up, please feel free to come up. I got a little sidetracked here, so let me just regroup and get. Hey, Ashley Marie. Hey. Hey, welcome, new sub. That's awesome. Welcome. Let's talk dog. Just give me a minute because I got a little discombobulated with, because I was just on live with True Crime Exposed, who I totally recommend and absolutely love and does great content, stays very, very focused, and has been calling out the same thing since the beginning of this case and has been following this case. I also follow his channel. I am new to YouTube, so I'm still learning the vocabulary. And when my sister Nicole, who is an ex-DCF worker and very, very educated, comes on, we discuss YouTube vocabulary. So if you're new to YouTube, we want to share our experience with you by giving YouTube vocabulary. Like a sub is a subscriber. Apparently there are moles or trolls. I'm still trying to figure out the whole moles and trolls thing There are people that get wrenches because they are moderators, which means they control the chat in the room or help control the chat in the room. There is a vocabulary word that has something to do with throwing shade, being nasty. It's called doxed. And I don't know what the official definition for that is. And there is a few more vocabulary words that we've been going through as we learn. So Summer Wells is bringing awareness. Summer Wells is 5 years old and missing from Hawkins County from June 15th. I'm going to give you all the players' names now. The players in this story are Dawn and Candace Wells. They are the mother and father of Summer Wells. The grandmother is called Grandis, player. So when I say player, you know who I'm talking about. Jody Sue is a survivor, and her children are survivor of a DV situation. You're going to have to figure out what that means. Her DV abuser, can't say that. She survived DV from her ex. His name is Andy. Dawn and Candace Wells had a friend, player. Her name was Allison. Allison has a son. His name is Hunter. YouTubers have been doing an incredible amount of content. Incredible. Who started doing the incredible amount of content? Behavioral Panel that I'm aware of, my opinion that I became aware of, did content on Dawn Wells, did quite a bit of content on Dawn Wells. Michelle from Michelle Walks and Michelle After Dark. Very, very excellent content on Summer Wells. Chris McDonough from The Interview Room. Killing it. Killing it. Educational, informative, decisive, just a pro. Chris McDonough was a homicide detective for 20 years. He did undercover narcotics. He was that 80s guy and worked on the canine unit, and he does cold cases now. Absolutely amazing. Player. He is the first person to go out there and get a full in-depth interview. The thing about Mr. Chris McDonough is he has an ability. It is a gift. It is a gift, skilled. It is a gift that has been honed in, polished, and is exquisite. It is just, he just has an ability, and he not only does he have an ability, he has the education to apply that ability to come up with results. I would be worried if Chris McDonough was interviewing me. No, not for anything that I've done. Oh, now I'm all guilty. So I'm going to say Chris McDonough is a player. Did I miss any major players here? Those are the people that we are aware of that were in Summer Wells' environment on the day she went missing. Let's get some other things in here. We have methamphetamine abuse. We have addiction, alcohol addiction abuse. We have people with records, including records that involve underage children up and at this house. And we have a history of SA from player, father Don, to his sisters. There is now an open case, and her name is Mary. Oh God, Mary, I don't have the name of your channel in front of me. Oh dear Lord. Well, she's amazing. And I will, in my next video, make sure I put up Mary's link to her cooking channel. It is amazing, amazing. And she makes, I really enjoy her. She has a super calm, wonderful personality, and she is a survivor out there with no shame, publicly telling her story so that her niece, her biological niece, can bring awareness to other children, such as Harmony. Okay. YouTubers. I have just joined the YouTube community and I really want to be a part of this community. I've been afraid of it for a really long time because I know the YouTubers are very, very serious about what they do. So I started watching the behavioral panel, Think Media, and I try to follow everything they do and make sure that I'm doing it in a correct manner. So this platform provides opportunity to become a partner with YouTube. You must have a 4,000 what they call watch hours and 1,000 subs, vocabulary word, subscribers to your YouTube page before you can apply to be a partner with YouTube, which allows you to be, vocabulary word, monetized. Once you become monetized, you can have advertisement on your page and you can have make money from the content that you provide at YouTube. Content is time consuming. Good content, the creators that I like to watch provide good, decisive content. It is time consuming, whether they are true crimers, whether they are Think Media, and I most certainly follow StreamYard. I follow the behavioral panel and a few neuroscience and attorneys and Mr. Eric Hunley, who provides wonderful, thoughtful content. The YouTubers in the crime community, not all of them, have become so incredibly passionate about this Summer Wells case. This little girl touches hearts. This little girl has just, I can't scream it enough. Her and her puppies have brought so much awareness to DV and AB, okay? And children and dogs are always going to be on the bottom of those things. So the only thing we can start doing is having conversations. And as long as we're having conversations, we're all on the same page. What has happened is we had in the community that I just joined. So I literally walk into the middle of this. And I am now very attached to certain YouTubers, which include Michelle from Michelle Walks. Well, let me always start with the behavioral panel because I'm Chase Hughes' #1 fangirl. And then let me go to Grizzly True Crimes. She is a writer. So when she does speculation and an opinion, I find her content absolutely fascinating because she thinks like a writer. She thinks like a creative. She thinks like a creative so she can bring amazing content. She's also an ex-airline. She used to work for the airlines, pilot. That's what she was, a pilot. Hey guys, hey. I hope you're enjoying the content. So who have some of my favorites become? All right, so Summer Wells, Jody Sue, Player, Neighbor, Survivor, DV. She's been public. She's public. I follow her on Facebook. I almost asked to join her Facebook the other night just to ask her if she was okay. She has been publicly attacked. She is under suspicion. Nobody has been ruled out of this case. Nobody. Nobody on that mountain has been ruled out. We don't know what we don't know. I'm rooting for Jody Sue. Okay. If I'm wrong, I will humbly say I'm wrong, but I am rooting for this woman and her family. She can monetize. She's on Facebook and she should be able to monetize with Facebook. Okay. She's on there every single day giving content. I'd like to put it this way. She's doing her memoirs. Now, listen, I understand if you know her and you're in Tennessee or you're super involved and you have your opinion, that is fantastic. To the general people that just walk in that haven't been involved in this or are not true crimers, just creating content on this, we only see what we see. So a new group came in. Molly Go Lucky, Bullhorn Betty, Chronicles of Olivia, and I always get his name wrong. JD, Jason, they're a group. And they went out and they shook it up. And everybody got into a battle. Let me not forget Trish from Missing from Forgotten. I would just like to have coffee with her. I just like her. Okay. And on the platform of YouTube and Facebook, okay, different rules, different platforms. They provide certain things. They provide you to be able to get a super chat. They provide you to be able to put your PayPal. I don't have any of this, so you don't have to worry about it right now. I'm not even close to being monetized or doing any of this. I'm still figuring out the platforms. and the vocabulary words, and what content creators and providers that I want to be my mentors as I go through the very early stages of YouTube. Because Think Media says, go ahead, start making content and throw out, make all your mistakes. Just go do it. So as I go through so they provide, I'm not doing any of the super chats, the PayPals. I watched Michelle Walks. I literally got involved in this case because of the amount of dogs, because of the amount of dog behavior. And I am downloading everything that I can find. And I ask questions about these dogs because we have lots of amazing dog content coming up based on all the wonderful footage that YouTubers got in this case, including Chris McDonough, including Molly Golightly and her crew. They got great footage. They got great footage. And we haven't even seen what Olivia has to put together yet. So they shook it up. I'm not saying I agree with everything they did. I most certainly don't agree always with the way they speak about people. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think that you stop AB by being involved in AB. Does that make sense? You don't stop DV by being a DVer, right? So one wrong, one doesn't outweigh somebody else's wrong. Can you follow me there, right? So you can't be what you say you hate. And sometimes it's just not thoughtful in the speech process. So I don't always agree. However, Molly Golightly absolutely adores her pug. And she has a Princess. I do remember. Her pug's name is Princess. And Princess is absolutely a princess. And Molly Golightly, her face changes. She loves her dogs, and she gives that baby treats all the time. In fact, she bought 2 bags of dog food and $25 of cookies for Summer's puppies, which, you say what you want, it was content, it was still a nice act. And you know what? The 5-year-old would have thought it was wonderful that anybody came up there for her puppies. Now, I will say this, the gentleman that filmed that piece of footage, I think it must have been Olivia that filmed that footage. The gentleman in that crew said those dogs, they're starving. They were not starving. I believe that was Yucky's pack. So 5 months ago, almost 7 months ago, Summer's puppy, Lucky, who she couldn't say Yucky and she called Yucky, was little. 7 months later, Yucky is a full-blown teenager and has had a litter of puppies on their own. And I'm still not sure if Lucky is a boy or a girl. Oh, I think I got my first troll. Oh, God, I wonder how you get rid of people. Huh. It's very interesting. All right, I don't know. Let me see. Can I? Ooh, there we go. Cool. Ha! Did it. Found troll. All right, so when he went up there, a couple of things. This is just me, my doggy alertness. He said the dogs were starving. They were not starving, okay? And I have been asking this whole time for donations to go to the Hawkins County Humane Society of Tennessee in Summer's name. You just got to call or go on their website because they have been helping, as far as I know, the Wells neuter and spay and get vaccines to the dogs on the property, okay? You can't change the world overnight, guys. I know everybody wants to, but you can't change the world overnight. To fix the system, you've got to be in the system. So let's work within the system. Let's send some money to Hawkins County Humane Society of Tennessee so if the Wells can have access and they have funds to help these dogs so there's not continuous puppies going on. Okay. So that was one thing because it wasn't truth and I don't like mistruth. They were thrilled though, and they lightened up. They were, doing their thing. They were going to yell. Is this the same day as the flare? It might be. They were doing their thing. However, when they were given the cookies, and I understand there's been some drama and some controversy, they couldn't actually step foot possibly on the property, because I just thought they should put the dog food in the bin that they have at the bottom of the property for dog food. But they may not have wanted to. So my other concern would have been those dogs coming out into the road, because they were a very friendly crew. They were a little skittish. Now, the skittishness isn't from Molly or her group. It is from not being sure. So I just wanted to show you this picture. I did a presentation earlier on dog behavior, but you can see this one picture where the dogs kind of backed up and they were kind of skittishing around. They were a little bit unsure, but everybody saw kind of what was happening with them, and started petting them and being really sweet with them. And I did think that they missed that was probably the Yucky litter. Okay, they were right the same age, they looked like them, and they were friendly and looked super well cared for. I don't know what. Here comes the pot. You think so too? Yeah, don't you think that was the litter? Yeah, I think so too. And they were super friendly, and they actually were chubby. Like, that was, the other dogs have not looked emaciated to me. What the Wells do when they're on the footage in this property is they'll put the food in a big bin, similar to like if I have any horse people in the group, then a bin, and there's packs. There's a pack, and then there's packs amongst the pack on the Wells property. And they, on the property with the common food, already have hierarchy established out, so they can communicate with each other really well. If a subordinate dog to another pack were to come over, and the other dog go, okay, cool. And it looks like the Wells have enough food on that property that, none of those, I'm not saying they don't have words, they shouldn't be neutered and spayed. I'm not defending them in any way. I'm just telling it like I see it. And that is, I have seen starving dogs. I have seen, and I'm not saying these dogs aren't being kicked. They pretty much live outside. So if daddy came home and he was in a drunk mood, or mom was in a drunk mood, or there were crazy people on the property doing crazy things, those dogs had get out of jack. Okay. They could leave. The children could not, but the dogs really could. Hear me there? Okay. They really could. They could at least walk away. They could run. They could apply their flight or fight. So for Molly and the crew, and this is not against Molly and the crew, let me explain this again. Little Summer Wells would love to have anybody visit her puppies, right? Because she'd want all her puppies taken care of. Let's see who's coming on the stream.
So why don't you
Hello.
And do what you say you want?
Hey, Ren, what's up?
I'm finishing my job right there.
No, I don't expect you guys to make me lose weight.
All right, so let me finish my train of thought here, and we'll get conversating. I was just on True Crime Exposed too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just love him. So those dogs, that was definitely looked like, so Molly and her crew got some fantastic footage. Now let's go back to, I'm compartmentalizing this again, guys. Now let's take this and go back to the YouTube drama. Okay. So on True Crime Exposed, and I've been listening to YouTubers all day about what they don't like about Molly and Bullhorn Betty. Let me tell you about and why they left. Okay. So let me tell you about my favorite parts of what they did. I saw them putting out signs everywhere. They put flyers up where there were not flyers. If they had just done that, I would have been impressed. They got Ziggy to go down to Tennessee. Ziggy took her child and she went to do it. They called people out on YouTube and they actually went down there. Let me tell everybody what I just said on true crime. That is a foundation. That is starting an avowed foundation to a call of action. Okay, that's what that is. It's call to action. And she started a call to action and she got one. And I am so busy, but you know what? I'm so involved in this case that had I had time, means, and opportunity, I might have gotten in a car. I looked it up. It was 12 hours to Hawkins, Tennessee. I might have absolutely done that. So call to action. You might not like it, but you can't stop talking about it. The next thing I hear is people can't stop talking. They're more worried about their content and they can't stop talking about that she's distracted from Summer Wells. Well, every time I go to a YouTuber's channel, I'm going to hear about Summer Wells, not people's personal feelings on what they're doing with their content. Okay. I'm just saying, I am definitely following very specific people now. And when I hear other people going, wow, you put so much into this, they've been in this for 7 months, but I just joined in. And the only thing I know about that content provider is who they don't like. This case is going to get rid of all I know.
Right.
So, which is great if you want to be a drama channel, but that is what you are choosing to do.
Right.
Because my niche is dogs because my profession is dogs and I adore children. I want to talk all things dogs. So that's my niche. And if I get that distracted in content, somebody smack me. Molly is an entertainer. Ernie,
Yep.
who I've invited on the channel, Ernie, and I also asked Doug. I got Doug and Josh's name confused the other night when I was talking live. And let me make a public apology. Gentlemen, I did not mean to do that. I happen to like both of you. I happen to like that, Doug, that you came on publicly and apologized. I didn't. I happen to be a brand new YouTuber, and we'll go through that another time. But I really liked that not only did you apologize, but you've changed doing things a certain way. So there's real, like, okay, I learned. Now let me move on and let it be in the past. Don't let people keep bringing it up. Do not. It's over. It's done. You've done
Right.
what you can do. So I also invited Doug on to the channel. So Ernie went on No Thanks channel, and Ren. I didn't have time to do any of this today, but we have to go look. So Ernie's delivering amazing content. He is doing general awareness and he's giving out amazing app. I have to go get my notebook to give you the app for if there's predators around your home or near you, right? Heard it's the best app. And he's bringing general awareness. Ernie is a character. He's right out of a movie, which is fine. He can be as eccentric as he wants, as long as he's doing the mission he's saying he's doing. It's okay if he's an actor. It's okay if he monetizes. It's okay if he gets super chats. It's okay if he chooses not to. But I'm going to say it, people. The platform's designed for that. So if you're leaving the money on the table, I'm going to personally give you my Cash App because I would donate it to programs. If I didn't need the money and I didn't want it, then I would put it somewhere where it was used, because it doesn't buy you character, but it could buy somebody's freedom.
Correct.
Just saying. So Ernie is and he has his, and now he's gone on several people's chats. Usually when I jump in right in the middle of the drama, and he has been yacked out. I'm not even exaggerating. The guy doesn't get a chance to talk and he is yacked out. Now, I don't know about Ernie's past because I'm going to have to go rewatch No Thanks because it was so competitive last night on YouTube. What does that mean? No Thanks and Ernie lost to Chris McDonough and the Lab because Chris McDonough is the lead of the pack.
Right.
And I'm going to be where Chris McDonough is. I'm sorry, Doug. I was watching Josh and Chris McDonough, and then I fell asleep before Jody Sue came on. And what is it? I'm rooting for Jody Sue. So I know that she's still suspect. However, I've got to throw it out there. I'm rooting that Jody Sue and her children survive, and they've suffered the trauma that they're going to suffer. May that be true. And if it's not, that was my opinion. Okay. So Ernie, I love Ernie, everything Ernie's saying. And Ernie, if you're listening to me, please come on my show. I love everything he's saying, and I am not judging in any single way. I found it fascinating. I didn't know who you were, Ernie. So apparently you're famous, and he was on Predator Nation, and now has his other channel, which I have my notebook, but I didn't know any of that. I just see this. Don't get mad at me, Ernie. Don't come for me. Eccentric, incredibly very handsome. You can see he's very actory and, charismatic. And apparently his brother was a serial killer. Yep, there he goes. I knew you were going to do it because I did it. I literally wrote WTF, and I don't like cursing. And I haven't had a chance. Ren, I was up at the crack of dawn. I had my little task list. And so I absolutely have Ernie show. And every chat room he goes, now I don't know if other people know this, right? Because I only know what I know and what I've experienced. Are you looking it up now?
Not yet.
Okay. Ernie show, and apparently, and then I was in competition with, or the shows were on at the same time, and I couldn't, you know what I mean? So I have to go rewatch No Thanks and Doug, because I chose to watch Chris McDonough and Josh from the Lab. And Chris always brings it home. You know, Chris and Josh, their language, I can listen. They don't hurt my eardrums.
Right.
Because I don't know how everybody feels, but guys, and later on down the road, I'll give you more of my story after I have a bunch of subscribers and I can talk about it. I'll give you more of my story. But, I want to hear intelligent speaking. And if people curse every once in a while to make an emphasis, but, let's use our words.
They're easy to listen to.
Let's just use our words.
Yeah.
Please use your words. I'll listen, I'll listen to Benny, because I'm curious what Benny has to say. So YouTubers, everybody's got all these judgments. They've got all these things to say. They went out there. They did this. Listen, they were screaming about constitutional rights. Do you know what they are? Do you think Don's got violated? Do you think Candace's got violated? Do you think their constitutional rights got violated? Have you looked up your constitutional rights lately? If you're 18 and you were watching all this drama and you wanted to get into the entertainment business, do you know what your constitutional rights are? If you're a methamphetamine addict and you get in trouble with the law, do you know what your constitutional rights? Isn't the word constitutional rights a great word? Got your constitutional rights? Do you know what they are? When they're talking about Fifth Amendments, do you know what they're talking about? When they talk about Fourth Amendment, do you know what they're talking about? So anybody out there with a bullhorn screaming the words constitutional rights, and people holding conversations about do they have a right to do this or do they not have a right to do this, is somebody that's invoking thought, whether you like it or you don't. Now, they left Tennessee, Ren.
Oh, they did.
In the middle of the night. So again, I'm not saying I like or I dislike the crew, okay? I can understand a lot of the things that are happening and the different agendas, which doesn't include them using a platform that's designed for them to use a platform, okay? So anybody that doesn't want to make money on the platform, Whatever they make or whatever they do with the money that's given to them is between their accountant and them. I don't know. That's how I was raised. If I choose to give somebody money, that's their money. That was my choice.
Right.
Just saying. So yeah, they left in the middle of the night. Ziggy went, call of action. Ziggy went out there. Apparently and I didn't watch Ziggy at all. Apparently she went out there with her child. The reason I knew this is because Benny comes on, and I won't subscribe to his channel, but I'll often listen to him while I'm folding Handstopaws towels. And his mouth is just AB. He is just, it is just the way he speaks in the name of defending people is so disgusting. The things that come out of his mouth are so horrific. However, he was stating that he's lost his relationship. He's getting a divorce. Remember, I think I sent it to you that he's literally snorting. Like he's literally starting his video like it snorting. And he is concerningly alarming, as Trish from Missing But Not Forgotten would say. It's alarming. It's very alarming. Now, the reason I found it alarming was when I listened to him, not knowing that Ziggy followed a call to action from the other content. And I'm just going to switch these words around because I'm trying to switch people's thought process because I hear a lot of personal opinions. Granted, you're allowed to. I've ranted and been resentful about people. I'm just saying that, I'm looking for content providers that actually have niches and are providing really thoughtful, provocative content on the subject matter that they're saying they want focused on. Okay.
Okay.
So, he said he's getting divorced. He said all this other stuff. Then he asked Ziggy why she thought it was okay to go to the bottom of the hill on Don Wells' property with her child. Now, that concern with her child. And this morning he got on, and I don't know, he was live when I watched it, and he was telling everybody where they lived. He was telling them all sorts of things about themselves and what they were going to do. Now, let's also keep in mind when they were on that property, the neighbor came by with a firearm. Not that he was doing anything threatening to him, but he said the other neighbor had threatened to kill Dawn. Now, I don't know if Benny's doing anything other than cannabis, which he publicly smokes. Good for you, dude. Whatever. Except if he is, he's looking a little crazy. Now, the ladies, I don't know if this was part of a drama thing or not a drama thing because, Molly's a kind of an actress. So she's eccentric. So she goes from mood to mood. That's part of her. People that love her for that. Okay. That's who she is. And she's not alone. Go to New York. I'm telling you, I could go have coffee in a Jewish deli with Molly and have a great time. But she woke up, she saw a truck. She got uncomfortable, and Don then called her, wanted to meet her the next day, but he called her. And listen, I saw Olivia's face on the footage when she was talking. Watch my blink right. She was like, yeah, there's no problem. Yeah. No, I'm cool. I'm doing it because of this. Yeah. And apparently Olivia's mom's with her. They got out of Jack. And I'm a little girl. I'm two worlds. Two. I'll just do these two worlds. Hood of New York. Okay. Bottom of Glenwood Avenue in Yonkers. Okay. No joke. And then horse capital of the world in Ocala. It's country out here.
Yeah.
Either place can be just as dangerous. There is potentially a ring going on. There are angry You think you YouTubers are angry? Imagine being set in the middle of it. They are on fire. Yeah, you should have left. Yeah, you should have probably left the day before. We have now in today's world watched, I can think of 2 YouTubers publicly that have committed crimes. Gotta go. So they left, but everybody's, I mean, they're all they want to talk about is them. So, and then blame her for bringing attention away from Summer, but nobody's talking about Summer. They're talking about them.
Yeah, it's all centered around them now. What happened to poor Summer?
And all that's happening is if they don't like them, all they're going to do is get them more views.
Yeah.
So it's only works for them, which I just think like, I don't understand.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Whatever floats their boat, I guess.
And it's really about Summer bringing awareness, because now Harmony, and we got to do a new child. I don't want to do the same child that everybody else is doing, because then I don't feel like we're bringing awareness. Right. And anybody that's still here, this is your awareness, this is your distress signal. And by the way, Doug from No Thanks, who I've definitely, Sky's gonna, I'm gonna have everybody emailed to see if they could come up with a date and time. But he got on No Thanks and he did it.
Oh, nice.
He reminded everybody it's the aware, moms, sons, daughters. This can save a life, a child, teachers. Everybody needs to know the signal and to practice it. So if you go into freeze, fight, or flight, and you have an opportunity in a horrendous situation that you can get somebody's attention, because you can hide it, right? You can like, yo, you can, if you practice it and somebody knows what you're doing, they can get you. They can go, gotcha. And it's already happened. So apologies show character. That is true. Apologies definitely show character. And, and that night he lost his temper and his mouth. We don't need men speaking and cursing women out and then calling themselves gentlemen. That's not very gentlemanly. And I am concerned. I was concerned. I'm glad the ladies left. I was concerned for them when I watched Benny. BK, the co-star, because his behavior is so erratic. And, those are called crimes of passion, people. And then, and I don't always agree with what they do. The dog food thing, listen, here in Ocala, if you walked up to somebody's property and first of all, putting the dog food down, and I do think that they didn't leave the dog food, they took it back and then they brought it back. If you leave that dog food out of that common area, you potentially have a dog fight. Remember, all these dogs aren't neutered and spayed. That's 2 male dogs. They're going to come over. It's going to be called food aggression.
Right.
If we left all those treats, they're going to pick up those little bags of treats and they're going to go in the road. It was very cute to see the crew give all the dogs treats. However, they were calling them off their property and they weren't doing it intentionally. They weren't doing anything that any other human being doesn't do on a regular basis. They just don't know. They're not thinking of the need. Right. So they're calling them, they're literally the dogs, and then the dogs are doing the, oh my goodness, what is this? You just keep giving me food.
Yeah,
that's you again. So they're bringing them out in the road. And at one point, one of them said, the guy, he said it, not that he was pulling the dogs in, because anybody that lives in the country knows the dogs know where the road is. The dogs know how to follow the car in. The dogs as a pack can circle a car and nobody get hit. They have that figured out. But if you're now calling them out of what they're normally known to do, they might, and you're feeding them, they could potentially follow you to the road that you're pointing out to create a look at their dogs are going to run in the road and get hit. That's not appropriate. That's not good journalism. Correct. That's different than protesting. Okay. Yeah. put it in its lane. And like I know a lot of the YouTubers are, they're putting the things in their lane. However, we don't want to give that lane all the attention when you really want the attention on what's happening with Summer Wells. Why did nobody know that Harmony was missing, disabled, 2 years? 2 years disabled. And why aren't we fixing our system? And when we have people like Molly and Bullhorn Betty, why aren't we asking them how we can help get things changed? You got to be in it to win it, right?
Right.
Got to be in it to win it, to get that kind of call of action, because it was about, Ren, if you had times and means, would you have gone to Tennessee?
Why not?
I would have. I looked it up. It was 12 hours. 12 hours to get that. So that's, that's easy. You drive for half the day, get a crash, get up, you're there early. It looked
I'd
gorgeous.
fly.
Yeah. And I would have, and in a further, I don't want to see these, I don't think they are. I don't think they're affected. I think they needed to get out of there. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, that I think it was wise for them to leave. As a woman in their scenario, I would have left.
Oh yeah, they caused a ruckus.
Yeah, these guys are predators. And BK at this point, he's erratic. I don't know if he's on drugs or not on drugs. He's just smoking cannabis. He's just so lost in it that
Yeah.
he's just, lashing at this point.
Who
I don't know
knows what anybody would have done over there.
Right. And either way, people, and I also hear people now defending, and they don't want to be defending. I don't think Don and Candace need to be defended. I don't think anything so terribly happened to them other than losing a child that I believe they're going to be arrested for. Because there's known SA going on here, and there's known DV going on here, but these children are not in their home. I mean, come on, guys, doing legal protesting. And okay, so they made them uncomfortable. I'm sure Summer's been really uncomfortable. I'm sure Harmony's been really uncomfortable. And I don't think even, predators need to be treated like human beings, and that we don't need reform in our system, all our systems, including the prison system, right? I don't think any human being should be treated less than a dog while we scream about our rights. I mean, that's just my opinion.
I agree.
So, but I definitely don't have any problem with somebody screaming Constitution.
I think our elders need to be put in prison, and the prisoners need to be put in the elder homes.
Yeah, I think that at least people need to be aware of what actually goes on in each system. The more awareness we can bring, the more change we can bring. And what's happening now, guys, pay attention. This is an epidemic. I'm not having babies anymore. Are you?
Nope.
No. But what about your children, other people's children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews? Teach your children, male, female, listen. And content providers, new people come on. We want content. I want to be delivering really good content. This is, I go on, I have time. I enjoy listening to certain people. There's content provider. And then I hear these ridiculous arguments. How can you argue over monetize? Why are you on YouTube? And if you just want a channel just so you have opportunity to talk and not develop into some kind of business or some kind of niche that's really what you want to talk about, then why would you take away somebody else's opportunity to do what the platform provides? Because that's what the platform provides. That's what it's meant to be taken advantage of.
Do you realize how many people are actually talking about Summer Wells?
How many?
I bet there's 50 or more.
Yeah. Good. And little Harmony too, because did you get to see Harmony's birth mom talk about her and what she's been going through?
No, I didn't
She
see
was
that.
she did it with Brian Enton from News Nation. Hands down, Brian Enton. Go Brian Enton. Brian Enton. Do the signal all the time. Make everybody aware. They're in trouble, especially the kids. She did a interview with Brian Enton, and she's a recovering addict. She looks like, you know, she still has some of the recovering addict things going on, but she basically tells her story, and she's very honest as far as I could see. And she talks about her own guilt and shame, which was really refreshing to the ear because, you know, she said, you know, there's so much guilt and shame, and she believes that he you know, put her through the same system that is a feasibility with Summer. And if it didn't happen for Summer's exposing a lot of that. That would be the best case, right? The best case scenario is that
Right.
she was illegally adopted and is living a great life. That's the best case. But so she also believes that, and the truth is, just like True Crime Exposed said, the rest of us just want to close our eyes, go to work, pay our bills, and be like, not my problem. The people that are suffering from hard addictions that get things like dope sick, that are put in these positions that have children, are the targets, not the Mollies, not most of the people out there speaking the content. They're not on, you know, and this I will say, Molly and Betty, you're not in. Where are the programs? Where's the footwork for that? Because that's ugly.
Right.
It's not pretty. That's ugly. And people, how do you get addicts help and then help them get the things they need for their kids? Because they are the targets. And as long as they're the targets, they make the bottom even easier to get to. And we've got to start talking about it.
Pound it, pound it, pound it.
What?
We got to pound it, pound it, pound it.
Yeah. And no matter what's going on, I see this drama is really positive. I know the content providers that are involved in it, they just, in my opinion, need to remember you're only representing yourself. You're not representing Molly or Betty.
Right.
Molly and Betty are representing Molly and Betty.
That's right.
That's who they're representing. No matter what they've done, whether they're good, bad, or different, that is all going to eventually get exposed. However, you're representing you. So anytime you have an opportunity with a platform to talk about Summer or Harmony or other children that are missing, then that should be your opportunity, because you're creating content that is of blaming. It's
Right.
blaming. And, you know, no abuser ever says they're abusive.
Well, no, they're
So,
perfect. They're all
yeah.
perfect.
No, people in recovery say those things. Like this mother of Harmony, she says those things because she's in stages of recovery where there's
I'll have to watch.
accountability. But anytime you have an opportunity to be on this platform to talk about Summer, that is your opportunity. That is not the other people's mouths. They're talking about what they want to talk about.
Yeah.
I did a behavioral course tonight live on Facebook. It was a little paid for, $4.99. Because guys, I am monetized on Facebook. I'm not on YouTube. I have every intention of monetizing on YouTube. And if I were monetized, I would have a fund for Summer Wells's puppy, and I would be collecting money. I would not be turning away money. I would be collecting money to send to the Hawkins County Humane Society in Tennessee in honor of her. Okay. I just want to say that because I'm backing all the content creators up on, you know, you shouldn't be paying attention if they're, you know, they're getting it. They're getting it. Do what they do. What are they doing different than what you're doing? Yeah. So I did the live, And I did it again. I forget. It's only my second one paid for event, which is $4.99. And I forgot. I had it all set up, Ren. Look, I'll do it again in 2 weeks. Look, I have this whole beautiful, right? I have pages of notes, pages, so I don't forget any of my, so I'm very, do you know what I mean? We're going to talk about this, blah, 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 this, blah, blah. And I realized that I'm still not sure if my StreamYard's going to connect to the Facebook Live. And if you miss anything when you partner with Facebook, if you can't be 10 minutes late, they're like, hey, if you're 10 minutes late, don't show up.
Ooh.
They text you or they message you 20 minutes before you go live and tell you to start getting ready. And they tell you you can be up to 10 minutes late, but do not be late. And they prefer that you're early and not late. So I didn't know if my StreamYard, and you can't miss a live. That's the other thing. Like, I think, you know what I mean? Or you get in trouble. You can only, if something happened, I guess they'll give you one. You better make sure nothing happens in case you need that one, right?
Right.
They frown on that too. And all my whole presentations on StreamYard. So I get home and I'm like, okay. And I go, oh my God, do I have StreamYard hooked up to the live event? And how do you do that? And I get a hold of my girl that does, helps me with my Facebook and this. And I say, hey, do you know how to do this? And she's got a crying baby. And I'm like, okay, got it. We don't need the presentation. So I wound up I was talking about tails. So I wound up doing all the hand signal. Like I could have been a puppeteer. So this is what this looks like. And the ears, when the ears go back, and then they could do this. Right. And this is, but this is more of a dangerous tail. It's slow. So yeah, there I am with all my, this is this. And so like, yeah, no wonder Molly and I would do great in a little skit.
Oh God, yeah, you would.
Yeah. I hope they don't give
that
up.
one.
They were really discouraged. I think they were genuinely scared. I think that the tubers are vicious, man.
Oh yeah.
They've been vicious.
Yeah, I don't think that one guy there with them could have protected all of them.
No, he's the only one, and I never say his name right, but there was a couple other content creators that did videos of his past videos that, as Trish from Missing from But Not Forgotten would say, were alarming. And Molly swears by him. She put out an apology video. I don't think it was very apologetic, but she's doing her best, and she's doing her best. And she said it. She loves attention. She's entertainment.
Uh-huh.
And Ernie, if he cannot go in a chat room. Every time I see him in a chat room with women, I'm like, "Ooh, look, Ernie's coming on." He gets cackled out.
Yeah. It's gotta suck to be him.
He's like, hey, and he looks, and Ernie just has a really clean. He has, when you're looking at the eyes of the window, he has and Ernie, I'm not coming for you. You're way too young for me. If I were 20 years younger, I'd be coming for you. ladies, and they're all like, no, he's not that good looking. Yeah, okay, take another look in the cowboy hat. So, and that's okay. And he's an entertainer, and that's okay too. Mm-hmm. So I just thought, but I have to go watch Doug and No Thanks, because the whole, and I like, again, nobody knows my story. I ain't judging them, but your brother's a what? Oh,
yeah.
What?
I
was like, WTF, what?
I gotta find out who this guy is.
And right, like, we have to find out who Ernie shot. And I definitely invited him on. I would be tickled if he would come on and not get cackled out, to actually have an opportunity to speak about general awareness,
Right.
and for us to ask questions to Ernie. Come on, Ernie, about things to look for or how to help educate in a like Michelle Walks always does. It's digestible so
Yeah.
that people can hear it, and because this subject matter is horrible. Nobody wants to talk about this subject matter.
No.
We'd rather talk about way other things. I'm going to go back over with Think Media and StreamYard because my head, but I'm in it, man. I want to know where Summer is.
Yeah.
And now I'm attached to certain YouTubers. Like I've watched them go through their and even though I don't really follow Ziggy, because when I got in the room that night, every time I do, there's drama. So I'm like, oh, but I was like, girl, you need to go. That man just told you where you were with your child. You got get your baby, get out of there.
Yeah.
Him losing it. Pay attention.
Yeah. You don't take children and stuff like that.
No, I was concerned. Right. He's, he knows, and he's saying it, and he's just. I would be. The TBI has got to be. I know they're in the chats of people that are talking. I'm sure they're bored with us. They're not with us. They're like, yeah, okay, Florida, whatever, dog lady.
I'm sure they're probably watching it, but
Yeah, but they're watching them. They
yeah,
are
they're not
absolutely
watching
watching
this like they are
them.
everybody else.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see where BK falls in all this. But he is, Ren, I said this, right? I said this a few weeks ago. They're going to wind up changing YouTube rules because of this drama. And he's putting in he's not dumb if he were clean or if he was together. And it's not the Wells' fault that he's not together. He's also made his own choices.
Yeah.
He's actually kind of intelligent. Like he could have really presented a positive, different message. It's, hard when you're defending people that obviously know more than what they're saying.
Well, maybe I could call up Candace and Dawn and ask them to shower and not be sitting on the toilet, and they could come and talk to us. Hello.
And let the cameras roll. Yep, it's horrifying. And people forgot about that one. I know.
Could you please not sit on your toilet and take a dumper and come on live with us for a while?
I know. I don't think they're going to include us in the movie either. And there was the dog lady in Ren from Montana. Molly might make it in the movie. And if they didn't get out of town, they definitely might have made it in the movie.
Hey, Molly, watch this. This is how you do it.
So Jody Sue on No Thanks, she broke. I've never seen her, and I follow her on Facebook. And the other day she got on, and on the Facebook when she's live, it says, and I don't know if she has so many followers, it says, and like my finger was on it because she was just like, and all I wanted to say was, Jody Sue, do you need someone to talk to? Are you okay? Like, somebody posted pictures, her DV pictures. I forget where it's somebody, I was running through YouTube, and somebody got a hold of her DV pictures. And that was just one set where her eyes were swollen. It looked like she had a broken nose.
How did they get them?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Chris McDonough on the interview, who didn't clear her, but said that he was very aware of what she had been through. With Chris, you never know if he's pulling you in or pushing you out. Like Chris is leading the thing.
He's good.
Chris is like, yeah, you're doing good. I only asked you that because of this. I needed this. I moved your body. Did you get to watch any of it?
I'm testing you. Just testing you.
Yeah. Chris would
Go
be like, she shouldn't have laughed over that. She laughed at the wrong time over. But he definitely he called it. I think anybody that's been through grief knows when Candace said, I'm walking in slow motion. When you're grieving, the whole world is slow.
Yeah.
And that was at the watering hole. So whether.
Well, he wanted her to relive what she did.
Yeah.
It was one last hurrah with the kid.
Yeah. And they were talking tonight because they said DC Social Services was supposed to come out the next day.
Yeah. Well, they'd been out there before, and she ignored them.
Right. And they were saying they thought maybe that they did something because, I mean, she looked so sick in that picture the day before. And they must, it had to be if she was taken, she wasn't, nobody came on that property. I think everybody's gotten that ruled off the table. But if she were taken, or they gave her to somebody, this would have had to be very premeditated.
Oh, whatever happened was premeditated. Unless the only thing I can think of is if it was an accident at the swimming hole with a dry drowning, then they had to cover up the body somewhere to cover up Dawn's doings.
Oh, cool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go feed my habit. Don't go away. I see other tubers do it. And I'm like, wait a minute.
And she's off to the garage. Off and running. I can't see the chat.
Definitely. I know there's, it's amazing, but people in the addiction community, they know how to, just like AB children, they know how to keep those secrets.
Yeah.
No matter how intoxicated, they still will keep that secret.
Well, those boys will talk one of these days.
If they haven't already. The impression I got from Chris is that he, did you get a chance to fully watch it?
Not all of it.
Okay, because I definitely got the impression that there's going to be multiple arrests. And he said it, this is way deeper than we thought. He was actually giving the YouTube community a lot of credit for a lot of things being exposed. Because as he calls it, it's the gift that keeps on giving because they keep talking.
Uh-huh.
Nobody says lawyer to any of these people. Even the Petitos had a Bertolino.
Yeah, but I bet their attorney's even thinking, man, why did I do this?
Yeah, I wonder if an attorney would take the Wells case, actually.
I wouldn't if I was an attorney.
No, I wouldn't either. Just gonna get a beat down. The public defender is gonna have to.
I would hate to be a public defender there.
Yeah. Hey, Roxanne. Hey, Dina. Anybody have anything, any comments that they want to, or you want to come on up? I can put another invite in if anybody wants to come up. Let me do it again. I think there's going to be resolution. I think that Chris McDonough of the interview room is very, very strategic in putting out these videos at this time.
Oh yeah, he's just got snippets out there.
I think that he's either he knows it's coming down the pike.
Yep.
And so he wants to get some of this information out. They may even be fishing.
He knows.
Oh, you showed the girls the dangers of the sign. That's great. I put the link up if anybody wants to come on. If you don't want to be on camera, do you see what I just did? I took my camera off. So like, I don't have a picture up there like the other pros. But you can do that. So you don't actually have to be seen. If you want to come on, we're.
Or you can sit and clean your iPad like I'm doing.
Yeah, and the sign's super important. It's not the same. When I was growing up, they talked, Oh my God, B Key, he just said the most horrendous, listen, I don't care if you like somebody or not. You're only representing yourself. What does this
Yes.
say? When you are speaking, and he said, oh, she's a milk run. That's adorable. Thank you, sweetheart. You're adorable. You're only representing
I
yourself.
need some milk too.
Yeah. He and the things he said were so nasty. I was like, if you were in front of me, I'd punch
I'd
you.
knock the dog shit out of him.
Yeah. And I don't always agree with what they do. And sometimes I think that they're, over the edge. However, that they had a game plan. They set a course out. And they didn't, failure is not always a bad thing. And, I hear everybody, they didn't accomplish this or they didn't accomplish that. They accomplished getting out there. They accomplished a call to action. They might have gone a little overboard. Okay. I'll agree with that. They might have learned a lot. You learn more from your failures did you do your successes. So if they didn't go out there, nobody would have anything to talk about today, apparently. And, they learned. You always learn. Sometimes everything's not always the raging first star success. That you got to do it again and again and again and be determined. I do think they should have gotten out of Jack, though. I don't think the people are playing with the guns and the property. I think they've been warned.
Yeah. They mean business down there.
Yeah. Any culture where there's a neighborhood and a protective, and then you're trying to expose people and have them arrested, it's going to create passions. And they have guns.
I have guns too, and I fight back.
Yes. Yes. Well, you might, but I just don't see Molly Golightly pulling out, her revolver and holding it still. I just, Betty might. Betty might. Olivia, she'd be like, Mom, we gotta go. Mom.
Betty beat her with a bullhorn.
All right. And the other one, well, he'd be JLR. He seems like he's very smart, but he doesn't seem like he's tough that way.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know who thinks they're that tough up against a gun or a rifle.
I don't know.
But I wouldn't want to be anywhere near BK when he's that erratic. And Andy, right? They have pictures of Jody Sue. That he has the extreme potential for violence.
Yep.
And we know Don and Candace can be there. What's keeping Don and Candace from being violent? They're being watched.
They're just violent against each other.
The children and the dogs.
Yeah.
And them.
They're keeping it in the family.
Yeah. Though, Don was raised in the system, so he knows how to fight off the grid, how to keep things secret.
His rap sheet is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. The other thing is, there's other players that they're not, other players that they're not mentioning are the people that will come and shoot you. These aren't little, these are players, big players that have lots to lose if they're exposed. They don't want to be exposed.
Yep.
And I'm sure Don and Candace don't want to be threatened either with prison or exposing somebody that might not want to be exposed. And the people that are selling the goods down there, they also don't want everybody knowing that's what they're doing. It could cause them future problems.
That's right.
It's going to cause violent circumstances. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube. I probably should be careful with that word too.
I think you just did.
Yeah, I know. I say because I'm not used to not being able to say words because of things like algorithms.
What happened to freedom of speech?
Yes, well, that's a subject that
You don't get that on YouTube.
Because the algorithms pick up certain words and they change it, and you don't. And there's other facets that we don't get it anymore, and we'll become compliant in order to in order to monetize. You have to be compliant in order to follow the YouTube rules. Whenever you go to work for somebody or you partner with somebody, you have to follow the rules of that platform. Now, I hear people just, their mouths all day. There's this one guy I really would like. I'd really like him. I can't think of the name of his channel, but he's like crude. That's like his thing, is that he's crude. And I would really like him, but he doesn't stop talking about them. And I'm like, okay, I'm done with that. Yeah. So, hey, the boy with a thorn in his side. How are you? I saw you over in the other chat. So my thought on this is complete BS. One, if I said this before I watched Chris McDonough's thought pattern on this, which is also baloney. One, anybody that is distributing that kind of paraphernalia isn't going to have Don come to the house with, the popos right behind him, so he could buy an exorbitant amount, right? Enough to put you away for prison and life of product, and then happily go distribute that product for people because he's just feeling generous, because he wants to prove that he doesn't need the money, because the TBI out of his mouth, his words, not gossip, not anybody else saying it, but his own words, that they had information that he had, I can't say the words. I can't say it. He had traded his child for money. So I don't believe any of that is truth. Right. And you're right. And he didn't, right. And you can't even, right. Great point. You can't even take out that amount in cash unless you had some extreme bank. I don't even think, even if you had an extreme bank account, you could do it. There's a limit. I didn't even think of that, but of course. I mean, it was such a ridiculous story. And I believe he told that to Ziggy in a rant. It's what back in the day, back in the old school days, we would call a war story, except it was based in complete fiction. I can't. Chris McDonough did it great last night. He was like, "Could you imagine going into your commander and saying, yeah, well, this is what happened tonight, and yeah, so he just bought all this product, plus anybody that wanted to sell more product out of the same location after the police had just been there, in observance of this, would be probably the dumbest criminal on the planet. Now, never underestimate the stupidity of the American public. However, that would just be, just hand them the shackles and say, take me now. However, I do, and I believe things are being exposed. I do believe that this is deeper than anybody realized. And I definitely believe that, just like the Petito case, nobody expected it to be mainstream media news, and that they were, the Wells are about famous at this point. Oddly, Don still stands by that statement. Shows you both of them that either are so high or drunk that they both exist in complete fantasy. Correct. Same thing with BK. BK is in he is in some kind of I'm getting trolls now, Ren. I'm figuring them out. And it looks like, I think I already have it blocked, so it might just be showing up on me. Yeah. And I think a lot of it's going to come out. Are we going to be privy to listen? It can take the FBI just doing their forensic 8 months to a year. They could take their time. And if they're looking for bigger people, maybe let's say if we took his story down and he was a snitch or he was acting undercover, one, he would have blown his cover by telling the story, not by doing the act. Let's say they back and it was really $200 or $20 of product, and he went and did that. Possibly maybe there, what do they say, there's usually a grain in truth, so there might be a little grain in there that he did that, and maybe he did that because he was snitching. Because I think Don knows that he's gonna be going to jail and or prison. And if anybody doesn't know, in the state of Florida, I don't know what it is in other states, the state of Florida, you're in jail for one day over 1 year, you're going to prison, and otherwise you would be in jail. But I believe Don knows that he's going back. I believe that Don knows he can survive in a prison environment. I don't know about Candace. And I do believe Don probably believes that. He's famous right now, and he's basking in that. And BK absolutely thinks, and maybe BK can behave any way he wants. If there's no charges brought against him, he's just, he's definitely going to be one of the, I don't know if he's going to be a villain in the movie or a good guy in the movie. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, I like Chris McDonough. I think that he knows what he's doing. Thank you. Thank you for saying they're on point. It's just observations of what I think that he is interpreting and how he's interpreting it. And I think he's pretty brilliant. I think that he's very educated. I think he's incredibly experienced. And I believe that we know so much about neuroscience today that he's taken those courses. If you're not a behavioral panel fan, go back and listen to Chase Hughes, and they give away so much incredible content on deception. And that they didn't just come up with that. They just didn't bring it to us for entertainment. This is what they've been doing. And Chris definitely has the experience. And he's, I find that I'll pick up some things and then other things I completely miss until I listen to their observations and I go, oh, wow. But apparently this problem with children is been rampant in Tennessee. And just like True Crime Exposed says, it's, let's call them the underworld, because I'd rather talk about addiction than classifying people as, meth heads. I think it takes away the humanity from the person. And most of us have people in our lives or know people of lives that either have recovered from these issues, are dealing with these issues, or scared for the children that are going to have to face these issues. What is this? What does this say? Where'd you go? There it goes. Did you notice Candace almost stated for someone wasn't even in the water? Then yeah. And I do believe, didn't you believe that was the last place that she was seen? It was that slow-mo. I thought Chris was right on the moment of, and there's moments that you really believe that Candace loved her daughter. I think she's so caught up in this, those tender moments. There's those tender moments and Chris said that very well. At this moment, she needed this. At this moment, I gave her humanity. At this moment, there was, I'm not saying that she is capable of caring about Summer in the whole for actually Summer's needs, but in those moments of emotion, he was tapping it, because in the moment of grief, whether it's loss of life or loss of having her company. And she would have been used to her being around. They would have had daily routines. They would have done the things they do. She enjoyed doing the videos. The red, that's why Ernie we find out about Ernie, these colors and stuff. But she would have had that moment of grief, and those moments of grief, you are slow. Anybody that has grieved knows that the time starts to change. It just changes. Nowhere else is she exposing that kind of emotion. I thought it was brilliant the way he moved her body around and placed her in places to get emotional responses. How he's very smooth. Super smooth. Yeah. I also, and the cover, a grieving parent, even when the little Cleo and people were giving those parents a really hard time, they always stayed very focused on delivering the information that would have affected the recovery of their daughter. No matter what anybody said, they stayed focused on that information. Candace is concerned about other issues. Her concern isn't that her daughter is missing, or it doesn't really seem to me that she's worried she's not in this world anymore. Remember, that interview was done very close to the actual incident. So that is my opinion. And then I hope BK pulls himself out before, if he still has opportunity to pull himself out. But I do believe that this has affected his life in a negative capacity, and that he's not doing well. I'm learning some things tonight here, Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I missed a whole bunch of people. I'm sorry, guys. All right, girl, it's been an hour and 33 minutes. That's a long time. I know some of them can stay on for 2 or 3 hours. I'm sure I could too if I just sat here and wanted to.
I sent you a text.
Okay, cool. Let me go look. What is that? I don't understand.
That's Ernie's brother.
We gotta go look that up.
I just
Yeah.
did. That's what I was doing.
Yeah, I was like, what? What did he just say?
What's up, dog?
What's up, dog? What? Your brother's a what? And then they started talking, because people will start talking like what's going on, but I'd never heard that before. I'm green. And they're talking about how Ernie might have been there and this, and I was like, oh, I got to go find out about this. However, I still want Ernie on the show, and no matter who his brother is, no matter
he's got a checkered past too.
Yeah, he right. If he's out, listen, you're gonna need some people like Ernie that walk outside of the average box. They don't need to fit in our box, because what they're going to be dealing with is so absolutely horrific. And if they can, it's okay. It's okay not to fit in the box. It's okay to have the cowboy hat and do the things.
Not everybody's perfect.
Not everybody's perfect. He does not get received well, though. So I don't know enough about him, but I'll tell you what, he gets cackled out of those groups. But Ernie, I promise, even if we don't agree with you, we will not cackle you.
Not on purpose.
Not on purpose, right? Not on person. There's a recent case, I believe, last week completed in court, child murder around 30 miles away from where Don lives. Oh my, word for word during media interviews, similar to what Don Candace states. Oh, I kind of heard about that. I had heard that there was, and it wound up that the mom had gotten. I will have to go look into. Do you have any more information on that? The boy with the thorn in his side. I like that name too. I have to go. Do you have a channel? I have to go subscribe to your channel. Yeah. Yeah, what is going on up there? What? Well, I don't even want to say up there because it's not about Hawkins, Tennessee. It's about Summer, and it's about Summer bringing awareness because her and Gabby Petito have become, they are the stars of the show. Dawn is not the star of the show. Molly and her crew are not the star of the show. Summer and Harmony and this little child that got hurt, they're the stars of the show. Everybody else is second to them. And let's not forget that. Let's not be so worried about talking about other people we forget what our focus is. Yeah, look at this. It's incredible how similar during press conferences these parents of missing children all say the same loving words. Isn't it? Isn't it? With the exception of Harmony's natural mother, who lost custody due to drug addiction, who her words were that and she comes off like she's a recovering addict, which is okay if you're a recovering addict. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants to go, oh look, well they're not doing anymore. Well, there was a middle point. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end point. So she's still in that middle point. So she's not perfect, but she said she never gave up. She kept going back into recovery. She'd fall and then she'd go back into recovery and she'd fall. And she said, I'm not going to, I have accountability here because I was an addict. And then they asked, do you have shame? Or yes. She said, yes, I have shame and guilt that this is happening. But she was pretty sure that her child was not deceased. And maybe if she's not, maybe Summer's not either. Because we know that statistically odds are. However, nobody's given up hope.
Hey, you have a private chat button?
I don't know. I don't know. My niece is supposed to come over. Yeah, and I know there is somehow. I just don't know how to get it. But you can text me. The phone's right here.
See underneath where it says chat?
Yeah.
Click on chat, and then up top it says private chat and comments. Does yours do that?
I've seen it before. There's my chat. It's not doing it tonight. Nope, it's not. Wait, hold on. Nope.
I can't.
I know you can. I know you can. I've seen it. I don't know why I'm not seeing it tonight. Yeah. Sky's gonna text Doug, and I wonder if they're on. Jody Sue broke on no thanks last night. She broke.
She broke.
There was a very interesting moment on No Thanks and Jody Sue, where Chris McDonough called in, and Jody Sue was saying, you know, Andy's not that kind of monster. And she made a statement. I don't remember the exact statement, but Chris McDonough was texting Doug, and he said that's not true. So Jody Sue got really upset a few minutes after that, not right at that moment, but she got very, very upset. And the first time I've seen her, I mean, she's the only person I've seen break down in tears over Summer in a heartfelt, where your heart went, oh God, Jesus, you know, you felt, I've never felt that from Candace or Doug, like, oh God. And then she broke last night, but I did think, you know, because we all know that I am praying she's not involved in this at all. But Chris McDonough just said to, you know, text him. That's just, and Doug had a moment because, you know, he's very attached to Jody Sue, and Jody Sue's very attached to him. They've developed quite a relationship. No matter how angry she is with any YouTuber, she will go talk to Doug on No Thanks. And, you know, he was asking her some tough questions, and you could see that he was having a really hard time even asking her the questions. But Chris was on, Miss McDonough just was like, that's not true, Jody Sue. So very interesting how things are gonna, see how they're gonna unfold. Somebody said it's like playing Clue.
And
you know,
have to go watch that.
Yeah, you're gonna have to go watch that. You really are, because it was really interesting.
No Thanks, huh?
No Thanks, right? It's No Thanks in the lab. They're the two. They were buddies. So when I come in, I'm watching No Thanks in the lab, and they're playing off each other like they're bros. They got a bromance going on.
Okay.
And Jody Sue's going on. So I'm keeping, you know, I'm watching them. And then I don't know who, I turn on YouTube one night and Ziggy's on. And that's Jody Sue's on. That's the night I wake up out of a dead sleep. And I said, I get on for my first time ever to be on a panel, and my hair's up here and I'm a hot mess. But I want to ask Jody Sue a question. And that's the night the drama happens between Doug and Ziggy, and I don't even know how to get off the panel, and I'm stuck in the middle of all their drama, and I'm awkward about it, and I can't get myself out of it, and I'm like, oh my, what is going on? So now that's how I become really aware of Ziggy, because I wasn't even really who's aware channel I was on. I was focused on being able to ask Jody Sue a question. So, and then, you know, then we watched all the apology videos. And then Chris McDonough was going on Josh's. What kept me on Doug was that Jody Sue and Doug are friends, and I enjoy their genuine friendship. And I just, you know, I tune in to see Doug, but then I watched him really he's really tried to do things differently. I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not saying what he did was okay, but he made a very heartfelt apology, and he has moved forward, which is exactly what he should do. And right. Josh has also moved forward. And I think that they will, if they don't have their bromance back now, I think that they will eventually move beyond that. I think they just got caught up. And I think once his mouth got going, he just should have shut the live off.
Yeah.
I think he won't make that mistake twice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think, you know, because Josh lost he lost a brand, or he lost something, it costs money. But I think again, if you learn from your failures, you learn more from your failures, you do your successes. So that he learned and he moved on, because it was the best thing to do, is just okay, that happened. Okay, that happened.
Yeah.
That happened. It did. You just got to deal with it. It's not going away.
Yep.
And I'd like to see the other ones. I understand their feelings, but this isn't really the platform for that. This platform, and if people are gonna, shouldn't be afraid who's gonna follow who. Because let me tell you right now, who has the most followers. You know who's killing it beyond anybody? Anybody is Chris McDonough. You go
Yeah,
look.
he had over 7,000 people in that room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at one point it was up to 8. And that's in the room live.
Yeah.
That's not reviews. That's in the room live. And then people are mad at him because but you're content creators. And honestly,
but he's got it.
Huh?
He's got it going on.
Yeah. And he's educational.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem giving anybody a super sticker or money when I really enjoy their content. I am absolutely giving them a tip for the services that they have provided that I enjoyed.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so I don't know this, and I think that's just got to get to. And then, of course, a lot of the content providers, I'm going to, I would have really, I think, and, and I might go back to them when this situation is calmed down, to see what they have to offer, but when they move beyond the passions that happened here. But in the meantime, they're all just keep the name out there. It's all that matters. Everybody, people like different things. People like drama. Don't say they don't. They go to movies. Movies are $1 billion industry.
Yep.
It's not because they're going to watch everybody go now.
Right.
That's just the opposite of what they're doing.
Exactly.
So, but I do have to say, and I know everybody's saying these things, true crime was like, Molly, go back, because Don called and wanted to meet her, but he wanted to meet her without a phone. She couldn't tape it. The rest of her crew was gone. And she was like, yeah, no. And True Crime was like, go back. You went all there. You don't go this. And then he's finally going to do the interview and you're not going to talk to him? What is going on? What? So he kept saying, go back. Go back, Molly. Go back and do your job. Go do what you said. And the women are going, she's scared. He's like, she's tough. She's got it.
They could have met and talked, and people could have watched from around the corner.
Yeah, I think she should have followed through with that one. I would exactly. She should have said, he stood her up. So she still could have said, you're probably going to stand me up. However, I'll, just it being a public thing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But the rest, we were saying it before they went out there. You should be careful, and can't just walk on people's property when they have guns. And these people they're trying to expose this very deep thing that make them dangerous.
Watch out for flare guns.
Watch out for flare guns. Right. And Don's being a nice guy and all this and trying to warn you and keep you off,
Yeah.
Trying to keep the peace.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm going to go ahead and end this live stream until tomorrow, unless Chris McDonough is on. He said he was going to do 3 of these. So if you don't see, I'll text you, Ren. But anybody else, if you don't see me on, it's because Chris McDonough's things can take 3 or 4 hours. I've got that down pat, and I'm going to be on there watching him live.
Okay.
So I will not come on live if Chris McDonough is on giving a new content. I give up and go to Chris. I'm like, whoop, leader of the pack's on.
Fair enough.
All right. Otherwise, I will see everybody tomorrow.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.